Another banger. Make a pom, make a pom, 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 make a pom, make a deep, a deep, pom, pom, pom. Your body kakara, make a pom, pom, pom. On a make it. Kilo fait, I'm a dead chocolate. Fine, fine, oh, chocolate. Watch your love for like it.
So we're in the local park again. We're having droughts here in Spain, or drought warnings. And even though droughts were predicted, and we're in the middle of one, the government still allowed some kind of water fight festival to happen in a place called Vallecas. So, which is insane. Vallecas is a neighbourhood that's very working class, so not rich. And they're the first people that will be affected by a drought. Obviously money buys water if you can afford to stockpile it. I just think it's stupid, but that's what people are like. They don't care until it actually it's upon them, and then they've got to deal with the consequences. So we're in the park. A lot of things have died due to the lack of rain. There's a sprinkler system, I think, further down, or someone's been into water some areas, because the usual areas that were dead a few weeks ago have sprung back to life somehow. So I can only imagine that some of the council or government have been in to water and improve the situation. This park's quite popular. A lot of Central and South Americans flock to this park, and they play volleyball. Ecuadorians quite enjoy playing volleyball. They love it. I don't know if you can hear them cheering behind me, but it's a big thing. So there's a big tournament. It's not a professional league, but they've got professional referees. There's a huge fan base. There's a lot of people behind them watching. So it's just super interesting to see how serious, because normally I would have thought they would have really been into five-a-side football, but they're actually really into volleyball. And it's on concrete as well. Here's one of the courts. I'll try and show you one of the courts over there. So that's one of the courts. A lot of the youth play on that court usually. But yeah, it's popular. So I'm going to try and go down and see what else we can find today. We've had a few different types of shield bugs, stink bugs, pop up. I've got a few photographs in my Instagram of a striped red one, ornate shield bugs, brown ones, green ones. So we're going to have a look in the local area, see what we've got. Dragonflies are quite commonplace, so I'm not really going to look for dragonflies today. Obviously, if one presents an opportunity for me to take a photograph of it, then I'll do that. But if not, I'm not that concerned. Alright, I'm going to go have a look and see what we can find. I'll turn the camera back on if we find anything interesting. Alright, bye bye. That's a red veined darter. Quite a common dragonfly around here. I've found 3 types of dragonflies in this area: a red veined darter, a black-tailed skimmer, and I think it's a Carmen something or other. It's basically a red dragonfly, just all red all over. See if I can get a little bit closer to this one. They are quite skittish. You've got to approach them extremely slowly. There you go. Just chilling out. I'll try and get a photograph of this one as well. So as you can see, around this area is absolutely swarming with dragonflies, mainly red veined darters. There was a bright red dragonfly. There's a bright red dragonfly just down there. I think, as I said earlier, I think it's called a Carmen dragonfly. I can't remember. I'll have to look in my Instagram. I try to always find out what it is I'm taking photographs of and then label it once I post the picture with a little bit of information. I'm just going to have a look now in a more greener area. That was a very dry area. The red veined darter likes to perch on top of branches, and it's very territorial. It will fight with others for its space. There's some females in this area. Females of the red veined darter are not red. They're more like a bluey yellow colour. Similar size, a little bit smaller I think than the males. or the ones that I've seen are smaller than the males. And we're going to have a look for some shield bugs. Okay, so I've done a bit of photography, filmed a few things. I'm just going to give some advice to some new people, people that are thinking of starting off in macro photography. What I like to do is I like to bring knee pads with me, because a lot of the time I have to get on my knees to get a good shot of something that I come across. I really like to take photographs of insects that I've not already taken a photograph of, and sometimes I have to get on both knees, one knee, so it's good to always bring some knee pads with you, some cheap volleyball knee pads, which will be fine. I could have stolen from the Ecuadorians playing volleyball, but that's a good option. A good technique for getting the photographs is the rocking technique. You can have autofocus. I've got two lenses that have autofocus and macro ability, a Nikon 60mm and a Tokina 100mm. But sometimes the autofocus at close range, like really close, like your 1:1 ratio, it doesn't focus great, and it'll skip and miss, and then you have to wait for it to go back down, or you have to manually adjust it. So I just stick to manual focus and rock. So I set it to whatever I think would be a good shot, 1:1, 75, and I just try to hold with two hands if possible, and just rock in and out until you manage to get the shot that you're looking for. Once you've got the shot that you're looking for, snap 2 or 3. If you can have it on a high burst with a flash, that's the best option. So yeah, knee pads and rocking back and forth. Also, a tip I got from another YouTuber, I can't remember his channel, but I'll put it down in the description. He suggested always looking for where you see multiple insects. Where there's multiple insects, there's going to be a good variety of insects in that area, more likely to be able to get at least one, a shot of one. So that's also a very good tip. They're my 3 main tips, to be honest. Knee pads in case you have to get low, rock forward and back to focus rather than turning, and try to find areas where there's quite a busy scene, like lots of flies, maybe lots of bees, and then you'll hopefully get a good variety of insects, and you can get at least a good shot of at least one of them. Right, I'm going to go back and see if I can get anything else. I managed to get some shots of some damselflies mating last week. I want to try to get some dragonflies mating, but it's becoming difficult to get because it's quite boggy around the area of the water, so I can't really walk in that because I'll probably lose a shoe, and then I'd have to walk home with one shoe and look like a bad jippo. Alright, I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so I finished in this area. It's a beautiful area, it's full of life. Seen some, I'm not sure if they were moths, low-level moths, ground moths, I don't know what you would call them, and some spiders. We're going to have a walk around the other side of the lake. No, it's not a lake, giant pond, water feature. See what else we can get on the other side. See if there's anything interesting. I want to see if I can get a dragonfly eating its meal. Alright, let's go for a walk.